When I was a kid, probably about in sixth grade, I was doing some local ministry work with my youth group at the church that I grew up at. And basically, we were going around a neighborhood near our church, and we were going to be knocking on people's doors and inviting them to come to an event that our church was going to be having that summer. Long story short, I basically got to a point where I was tired and told our leaders that I was just going to head back to the church on my own. And I set off, and unfortunately I set off in the wrong direction, and it didn't take long for me to realize that because of my own decisions and that I had rushed into doing something on my own without receiving any wisdom or advice from anyone, I was lost. And this really wasn't a very good part of town, and I was pretty lost, and it didn't take long for me to start to get scared and worried and anxious about the situation that I found myself in. And I spent probably a good few hours going around this neighborhood, and I couldn't find where I was until I fortunately stumbled on a nearby hospital, and one of the security guards there was able to help me call my dad at home, and eventually he came and picked me up from this hospital. And then right as my dad picked me up, also one of our leaders, who is also a family friend, she pulls up alongside my dad's truck, and she'd been looking for me this entire time. So she pulls up right alongside my dad's truck, and I'll never forget the look on her face. Her face was beet red. She had been crying. She was terrified for me, and the relief that she felt in the moment, knowing that I was safe and okay. And it reminds me somewhat of the story of the parable of the lost son that Jesus tells, and it's about this boy who decides that he wants his inheritance from his father even before he deserves it. And so he gets his inheritance from his father, and the Bible tells us that he sets off in wild living, and he goes off and basically he's partying and he's living up a sinful lifestyle, and then eventually his money runs out, and he realizes that he is lost to the family that he once had, and his life has become something that he didn't intend for it to become. So he decides to set out to go back home and beg his dad to just allow him to be a worker on their family farm. But as he approaches home, his dad sees him from a long ways off. See, his dad had been looking and waiting and hoping for him to return. His dad sees him and starts running to him, embraces him in a hug and gives him a kiss, and tells their employees and other family members, hey, let's sacrifice the sheep that we've been raising. Let's cook a big feast. Let's have a huge party because my son that was lost is now home and has been found. The relief that dad must have felt in that moment. See, the dad didn't hold it against his son. Hey, you went off and made these mistakes and it got you into a lot of trouble and your life was so bad. He doesn't offer guilt to his son or shame him. What he does is he embraces him and welcomes him. And the son says, I don't deserve to be part of the family. But the dad says, I'm just happy you're home. And the reality is that at one point or another in our lives, we have all been that lost son. We have all been living a life that has taken us away from our Heavenly Father. And you may be there right now, and you realize that you are lost, you're confused, you feel guilty and hurt and burdened by your own mistakes. But the point of the story is that your Heavenly Father will not shame you. He will not hold any guilt against you when you return to him. See, just like the father in that story, your Heavenly Father is watching and waiting and hoping for you to turn and come back to him. And the moment you decide, I'm going to go back to my Heavenly Father, gosh, he will run to you and embrace you and hug you and kiss you. Not hold anything against you, not bring up your past sins, but just let you know that he's always loved you and he's glad you're home. So wherever you find yourself today, if you feel like one of those lost sons or daughters, would you turn your eyes back to Jesus? because he is waiting for you to return to him, and he wants nothing more than to grab you and embrace you and welcome you back into his family.